All right. So again, we're going to be going over some news here relating to something that doesn't necessarily deal with Kick, but it just deals with the internet as a whole because the internet has struck once again. It's ridiculous. Do we still get the muscles, Yuppy, when a sub happens? Yes. Yeah. You still have the alerts when sub happens, but he thanks you as well. He just pulls out a little sign and thanks you as well. But maybe at some point the sub alert would go away. I don't really know. I don't know yet. But yeah, no, that's still there. Okay. Let's get into the news here. So we are going to be talking a little bit about Palworld. You may have seen this game, you may have heard of this game, but basically along the lines of what people have explained this game as is Pokemon with guns, is pretty much what a lot of people have been saying. In order to catch these pals, you got to beat them up and kill them and whatever. I don't know. It's pretty interesting. Basically, again, Pokemon with guns. Okay. Now, this game came out fairly recently. In fact, it came out just a couple days ago, and it has started to blow up like crazy. And I mean, absolutely blow up. All right. This was posted January 20th, 10:32 a.m., which was, again, 2 days ago, hitting over 844,000 players. I mean, that is a lot of players. That is pretty top of the line charts on Steam, right? That is pretty top of the line charts on Steam. But then I decided to take a picture of it again. This was late Saturday, I believe late Saturday night, at like 1 a.m. Sunday morning. So 1 a.m. yesterday morning, I believe I took this picture. And it was absolutely crazy. I mean, the fact that, or no, I didn't. No. Sorry, this was 10 a.m. yesterday, 10 a.m. Sunday. 1.2 million players. 1.2 million players. Okay, on a game that's like a Pokemon. It's a Pokemon knockoff. Like I don't know, but it's a decent game, and we're gonna get into that a little bit here. Okay, we're gonna get into that a little bit. All right, so let's go ahead and see. Well, wow, this was yesterday at like 10 a.m. Wow, and that was the weekend. Surely it would be a little bit more dead today, right? You would be wrong. If we go ahead and refresh this right here, 1,582,000 players 12 minutes ago. 12 minutes ago, 1.5 million players. Right now, 1.57 million players. This game is going crazy. Yo, Jacob, have a good night, brother, man. Appreciate you, dude. Have a good night. This game is going absolutely nuts right now. And it is, what is it? Isn't it like $20 or $30 or something like that? I don't know. I forget what the price of it is. It's like $20 or $30 or something. Okay. It's not a free to play game. Absolutely blowing up, and it is spreading on social media like crazy. But it's not only spreading on social media because it's a decent game and a lot of people are having fun, but it's also because of the drama. And we're gonna go over this drama here and kind of break it down. And we're gonna go over it here and talk about it a little bit. Scapegoat, what up, brother man? Welcome back, dude. Goat, welcome to the stream as well. Hello, welcome back, Nacro, welcome back as well. Yo, what's going on? What's good? So let's talk about this a little bit. Pocket Pair, Palworld's developers, are practically built on copying / plagiarizing currently popular games / tropes, and Palworld is not the first. From a quality standpoint, Pocket Pair has a history of leaving games in a buggy, unfinished state, all while charging a fairly high price point. All while charging a fairly high price point. So before we get into the next part here, let's just kind of talk about this a little bit. Okay, Pocket Pair has a history of leaving games in buggy, unfinished states. So in all reality, this kind of depends on how popular their other games are. Indie developers like Pocket Pair here. Indie developers will typically sometimes, if their game just doesn't perform decent enough for them to want to try to fix it and go through the effort of fixing it, then they'll just leave the game and it'll be unfinished, it'll be buggy, but there's not enough players playing the game for them to justify working on it. However, Palworld is a different point because Palworld, again, right now literally has 1.5 million plus players on Steam. Now, I don't know if it's on any other consoles or not, but if they got a console version out, this game would be even bigger. So if we talk about that right there, well, I mean, yeah, maybe they have a history of leaving games to buggy unfinished states, but that doesn't matter. But then again, they do say, well, all while charging a fairly high price point. Yeah, it kind of sucks. You pay for an indie game that's a pretty decent price point. I mean, fairly expensive-ish, and they just stop updating and supporting the game. I mean, yeah, I could see why you get upset about that for sure. It's on Xbox. Oh, really? So then that means it's even bigger. And then we got, again, the next thing here. Okay. Pocket Pair Palworld's developers are practically built on copying / plagiarizing currently popular games / tropes. So there's a couple different things here that we're going to talk about, but we're going to first of all, we'll go over this in a second. Let's go ahead and go through this thread and maybe we'll come back to that. Pocket Pair's CEO at the same time is fascinated with AI technologies and using them to bypass copyright laws. Now, I will say I did read through this a little bit here, and the copyright thing is just, I mean, just the copyright thing is kind of like up in the air, right? Is fascinated with AI technologies, which is perfectly fine, and using them to bypass copyright law. Basically, what we got here is we got a couple images, and let's go ahead and read through them a little bit. So the top left here, we have with the translate. If you pass it through the filter of AI, the image is often not a specific thing. So maybe the copyright issue will be resolved. I was surprised to see that the world is actually moving in that direction. In about 30 years, the general public's perception of copyright may have changed considerably, which is a statement more than him saying that that's what he wants to do. And that's actually pretty fair. I mean, that's very, very fair. AI is getting more and more advanced, more human-like, that maybe, just maybe, things might change in the future, whether that's good or bad. Now, yeah, whether that's good or bad, don't really know. Okay. Then we have the next one here. The AI has evolved so much that I can no longer tell which is a Pokemon. Left, Pokemon-like monsters generated by AI. Right, real Pokemon. So again, just kind of, just using AI to generate things that are similar to Pokemon. That's fine. Okay. No. Instead, please play AI Art Imposter. Is a real-time image generation game, requires 4 friends. There's just, again, the person, the developer is pretty entertained by the idea of AI, and I think that's fine. Okay. I'm not going to flat out accuse Palworld for being developed with the use of AI, but purchases and engagements support this person. So basically what they're doing here is they're saying that, again, they're saying that they're not going to flat out accuse Palworld, but they're very suspicious in saying that, Palworld used AI to generate their stuff and do their stuff. Pretty ridiculous, okay? An accusation here, right? Let's talk about plagiarism. Yes, Palworld steals Pokemon designs. Some says this is okay since Pokemon is owned by a massive company. However, this is the work of individuals being stolen, not the work of sleazy higher-ups. There are better ways to send a message. Okay, and they provided some pictures here of some Pokemon characters and then some Palworld characters as well here, right? And they kind of give a little bit of that. All right, but plagiarism is okay since Pokemon games are developed at poor quality, and this will encourage a higher game quality. Craftopia is an earlier title with many of its mechanics used in Palworld, still in an unpolished state, also a ripoff, obviously. So Craftopia was a game also made by the same developers of Palworld. And the game is definitely highly inspired from like Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, stuff like that, right? Which again, I mean, inspiration. I mean, yeah, bro, they're an indie developer. They're gonna try to do something that goes towards the audience. Like, bro, think about how many games have tried to do a unique idea. Splitgate, they've tried all they can to try to, make that game go crazy, right? Splitgate used to be a pretty decent name, and then now they're at 188 players. 67,000 players 3 years ago. Splitgate's got a unique idea. They took the idea of Halo and kind of split it up and mix it up a little bit, right? Oh, they plagiarized Portal, right? They plagiarized Portal, they plagiarized Halo or whatever. It's just, bro, you can say that every game right now represents another game. Oh, it's a first person shooter. They ripped off Call of Duty. But oh no, Call of Duty ripped off Duke Nukem. Like I don't know. You can always say there's plagiarism like crazy, but the truth of the reality here is that an indie developer is going to have a hard time creating a very, very completely unique title without it, one, being compared to any other game, and two, with it succeeding. I mean, bro, having a unique idea game succeed by an indie studio is really hard. It's not impossible, but it's really hard. Not to mention, if you do anything with like little Pokemon like characters, it will always be, fed back to, oh, this is Pokemon. Now, in terms of the similarities here, I mean, yeah, I mean, similarities are going to happen, and that's just what it's going to end up being. And I'll get into that here in just a moment. Okay, but it's still a huge company. It's not an issue if that's ripped off. Does that logic still apply if the title is being ripped off from an indie company's indie title? Nevergreat is a not yet released title, also by Pocket Pair. I hope you're seeing this pattern. So again, here I think they're insinuating that they're again copying another game. I don't really know. I don't really know too much about what's going on here. I don't know if this is them saying. I don't know if these are two different games. I don't know enough about this. But if they're saying that they're making another game that is very similar to another game, I mean, bro, it's a side platform. It's a side platform scroller. I mean, dude, they're all gonna kind of look the same. I mean, how much advanced craziness can you get with a 2D platformer with this kind of style? I mean, it just, yeah, it's pretty hard. Okay. Hollow Knight ripoff, maybe. I don't know, but again, okay. Now, you could say it's just a game and continue to enjoy it. Continue to purchase it, partake in it, and hold a game of this quality up on a pedestal. Just recently, there's been an uproar of showing vocal support towards artists and workers in the creatives and games industry. And to me, this steps all over that. Is partaking in these titles by this and other companies with a CEO that holds those ideals. Again, with a CEO that holds those ideals. Again, the CEO was just questioning, could AI eventually question copyright laws? Which again, saying that CEO of this studio supports the idea of using AI to bypass copyright laws. That's an accusation. Accusing and also insinuating that the CEO used AI for everything in the game, or just used AI in the game. Again, is an accusation. We don't have valid things. Now, could they not use AI? Maybe. Could they have used AI? Most definitely. But the question is, we don't know. It is the internet is doing a thing right now which is guilty until proven innocent. They're not actually proving anything right now. It is just automatically guilty because they said one thing about it. It's just crazy, right? Just crazy. All right. Ridiculous. But then we go on to some more posts here, okay? So Palworld's overwhelming success is the first step in the normalization of generative AI slop games, which is really, really depressing. 10 years ago, an asset flip game like this would have been relentlessly ridiculed. Ultimately, yes, an asset flip game in the past, I mean, many asset flip games have been absolutely destroyed. But where is this asset flip Palworld drama? Where is it? There's those. Where is the asset flipping? Unless you're talking about, oh, the Pokemon. But then you're saying generative AI slop games. Again, there is no proof that the game used AI. Did they for the Pokemon designs? I mean, maybe, but I highly doubt they used AI for the you know models or modeling or anything. And again, we're gonna go into that. All right. And then they're saying here, he said there's no laws or regulations or whatever against using AI, but Steam requires a game to disclose when they contain AI generated content. So either the game is not marked as AI. So again, we don't know. Did they lie to Steam or did they genuinely not use AI? I don't know, right? Then we get on to some more stuff here, and don't worry, it gets better. Palworld's success is proof that despite protests, most people will cave and use an AI product because of some loophole. It's fun. It doesn't feel like AI, etc. Where in the world are you getting AI? These people here are absolutely crazy. They see one thing posted by an individual that is part of the game, and this so happens to be the CEO. They take that and read the titles of these people on social media saying, "Oh my God, Palworld CEO, AI." They read the title, and then all of a sudden, that's what they believe. This is the definition of online reading headlines and just going at it. Nah, man, I want proof. I've looked through a bit of stuff for Palworld and stuff, and again, I have not found any proof of AI usage. Now could they have used AI to generate the pals, the Pokemon characters? Most definitely. There's a very high possibility of that. Yeah, but do we actually know that for sure? No. So again, we got to just look at this from a general overview. But so many people are like, "Oh my God, this person supports this, so they must do this." Like it's so dumb. Not people don't think for themselves. It's ridiculous. It'll be a sad day when this happens on a wide scale for other creative endeavors, books, music, art. It sucks. And the reality is that is going to happen. All right. Shush. AI is ultimately, AI is inevitable. All right. It's like Thanos. All right. Inevitable. It's going to happen. AI is getting stronger and stronger and stronger and being able to do crazier and crazier things where people are going to be able to use AI to make themselves a book, use AI for music, use AI for art. They're going to be able to do this, right? It's just that's where AI direction is going. The asset flipping is the terrain like trees, grass, rocks, water, etc. Those are proven if you go into the shop. So the AI is harder to prove, but it's highly suspected the AI used the assets to generate the world itself. Okay, I mean, sure then, sure. I mean, okay, all right. So if there are assets and they did buy them, still, I mean, they're using them in a very effective way that I think is really, really good. Yeah, by shop you mean the Unreal Engine store? Yeah, yeah, that's fine, right? If that's what they're using for the trees and rocks and stuff like that. I mean, hey, fine, by all means, right? By all means. I mean, that is, bro. I mean, it works, right? It works. The AI argument is far weaker than the plagiarism and asset flipping accusations. So, okay, so where is the plagiarism here, right? Where's the like, is the plagiarism the fact that it's similar to Pokemon? Is that what it is, or is the plagiarism the Pokemon that is the pals that are similar to the Pokemon, or is that the plagiarism? And then we got some other things here. Now, this person here, there was an article written up by Palworld that was quite interesting, but he breaks it down here a little bit in English. Assuming this Palworld developer write up is being accurately translated, this was the most in over their heads team of all time. First time creating models instead of purchasing, no source control nor naming conventions, didn't know what a rig was. The entire post is a fascinating read as is, and I hope it gets a proper translation. There's hints of there being more nuance to this guy and his studio than I'm seeing painted online. Not excusing the company's past actions, but this would certainly help contextualize them. The best part about the article is the CEO explaining how he had to personally optimize the game engine right before launch, despite no prior Unreal Engine experience. Out of pocket about, sorry, out of everything about Palworld, it's somehow the most Nintendo aspect of them all. To clarify, the operative word in the op is was. They now have source control, naming conventions, and a motion system in place. It was after bringing someone with experience in the industry that they were able to point out what's lacking and fill those gaps. So absolutely crazy. So let's see here. So this other person did a little bit of the rest of the rundown, which this guy up here should have done. Okay. Amazing read. From what I gather, project costed 1 billion yen, which is around $6.7 million. Gun animations were done by a 20-year-old middle school graduate that works part-time in a convenience store. Prodigy, which this right here, again, I'm familiar with animation, how that works and stuff like that. Yes, I mean this is very possible, okay? That the animations were done by a 20-year-old middle school graduate that works part-time in a convenience store. That is very possible, man. There are a lot of people out there with talents that just aren't really used. So that is very, very much possible. Main artist was rejected by 100 plus companies previously. So who knows fully what that's about and what are rigs. So again, pretty crazy, right? The studios seem to be way over their head for this game, and it just happened to work out for them. Maybe they got really, really lucky. But I will say, for an indie game that is the size of what it is right now, okay, is absolutely insane. Okay, considering the size of it is right now with over 1.5 million players on it, surpassing Cyberpunk for all-time peak players. It is absolutely crazy. And it is honestly one of the smoothest, in my opinion, launches of a game of this scale, period. Right? I mean, this game blew up like crazy. And did they have crazy things that hindered their growth, server problems, all that stuff? I mean, from what I've seen, they haven't, maybe they've had a couple issues here and there, but nothing that was really like insanely bad. I mean, otherwise, they would not be at 1.5 million players. A lot of people would have left, but they did not. This was honestly a very clean release of a game. Okay. Only in terms of the pals themselves, as the game itself is more of an art clone. There's a thread in Twitter that compares each pal to Pokemon, and most of them are 1-to-1 for being for parts being picked from a Pokemon and used for a pal. Not like a Homager inspiration, legit a 1-to-1. Yeah, and we're gonna go over that. As for brokens, the server issues, there is that, but not for the Steam version, surprisingly. I'll explain. Okay. All right, because I'm interested, because I haven't seen many issues with like the servers and stuff. I'm sure there have been a little bit of issues here and there, but like ultimately, from what I've seen and what the stats suggest, Palworld's release here was pretty well done. I mean, it was pretty well optimized for the release, right? Shred, welcome to the stream as well, or Shred, welcome in. So here we go. We got some different things here. Pokemon and Palworld, inspiration versus plagiarism. From someone who made Monster Tamer's designs a majority of her personality, a thread. So again, we got a Palworld creature over here and a Pokemon character here. I don't know what that is. Maybe that's a Pokemon character. I don't know what that is. So as a fan of who's both inside and outside the community, I have an interesting perspective on Palworld. All my friends in various spaces, regardless of interest, are against the designs. Not because they're Pokemon defenders, but because it's plagiarism. So yeah, I mean there's a lot of similarities here. And I agree. There's a lot of similarities here. So there's a bunch of pictures here that is kind of going crazy here. Or representing the face here in this instance is very, very similar. I mean, it is almost exactly the same. In fact, it basically is exactly the same, right? People were saying this isn't anything new, so let me pull out 4 different monsters from different franchises that share the same inspiration. The Saze only, a yokai known for their turban shells. Notice the differences despite sharing major elements. So again, here it's just, you know, representing like, oh, okay, like the characters are all pretty much the same, but or they're similar in that manner, but they're not exactly the same. There's a little bit of differences between them all. Okay. But I understand that's a specific example. So how about I bring in 4 different fire lion monsters? Also note that none resemble Meowth, at least directly. So again, 4 different lion monsters here. All right. And then they keep going on with a bunch of different examples here of similarities between different projects and things that kind of just like represents other ideas here. Okay. Now, what I find interesting here is this, right? Is that they mentioned here that people were saying this isn't anything new, but this is just one instance. But what's interesting is the next post here. So Palworld plagiarized Pokemon, but Pokemon took inspiration from Dragon Quest. So if we take a look here, this is a comparison between Dragon Quest and Pokemon. And let's be honest, these are very, very, very similar characters here. You got Dragon Quest on the left, Pokemon on the right. And these are, I mean, insanely similar everything. Okay. They just are. So it's interesting to kind of look here. But at the end of the day, it's hard to come up with a lot of unique examples of what's going on, right? It's hard to come up with complete unique examples of these Pokemon, of these characters. At the end of the day, if you make a game that has little Pokemon like characters or whatever, yeah, there's going to be a lot of similarities. But I mean, yeah, I mean, you can't help the fact that some of these, especially this one, is, I mean, almost like it's basically a one-to-one copy in terms of the face. Really, really bad. But at the end of the day, like everything's going to relate to something. There's always going to be something that relates. Okay. I mean, there just is. All right. You know what I mean? There just is. Yo, copy my homework. Just don't make it obvious. The PC Game Pass version is completely broken. So there's a theory, but it's small and not many are talking about it, that the PC Game Pass version is purposely bad in order to try and drive revenue to the Steam version and console, because they'll get more profits that way rather than the meager amounts of the PC GP. Yeah, I mean that's an interesting theory for sure. That's a very interesting theory. Very similar but clearly different in art style alone, not to mention anatomy and overall design. Pokemon and DQ have a clear art style, but PAL takes way too much. So you're saying that this is enough of a difference? You're saying that this is enough of a difference between Pokemon and Dragon Quest? 100%? Bro, wow. Yeah, see, I don't see it. I do not see it. I mean, look at the snail character here. I forget the names of them, right? I can tell look at the snail character here. I mean, the difference of them is not a whole lot. Look at the Caterpie here, right? Look at the Caterpie. It's very, I mean, the difference is crazy, right? The Gobat's a little bit different here. The Gobat's a little bit, you know, different. You got what is this? I forget the name of the character. It goes into Nidoqueen, doesn't it? Forget the name of this one though. Compared to this little character over here, right below my camera. I mean, it very, very similar. I mean, insanely similar. You got the shell guy here. I forget his name again. The shell guy. I mean, a face inside of a clam. This one's got teeth though. I mean, bro, Grados or whatever the heck his name is, right? I mean, compared to this thing, I mean, very, very similar here. I mean, yeah, they're slightly different. They are slightly different. Maybe they're a bit more different than a lot of this. But ultimately, has anybody made a list? Is there a list of all the, like, okay, how many pals are there, first of all? And second of all, is there a list of how many pals are so similar to Pokemon? Because that's the other thing that I'd be curious, right? But I'm also an artist, so I study art style heavily. There is. Let me find it because I'd be interested. How many pals are actually really close to Pokemon enough that you would classify as plagiarism? I don't know. Because me, from maybe I'm an outsider perspective, but this right here, I mean, is insanely similar. These are very very similar. Oh, but the art style. I mean, but the idea of it is very very similar, right? Yeah, the idea behind it is insanely similar. It just is. But at the end of the day, that's kind of just what it's going to be, right? At the end of the day, that's kind of just what it's going to be here. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, here's the reality. All right, here's the reality of this. Online social media can go as crazy as they want to. All right, it can go as crazy as they want to. All right, but call me the devil's advocate here. But at the end of the day, I believe that unfortunately AI will, yeah, take over a lot of jobs. I mean, it just will. It is cheaper. It's going to be easier, right? It's going to happen. Okay. Second of all, almost anything that is made nowadays can be related to anything that's already been made. It's hard to make something that has never been made before. It's not impossible, but it's insanely hard. And it will always be compared to something. All right. If you make a first person shooter game, no matter how much unique it is, people can always compare it to Call of Duty because Call of Duty is a big name brand and it's a first person shooter. It can always be related in one way or another. It just depends on how the community goes at it. In the reality here is that the community can go crazy talking about this a lot. Okay. But will there be a lawsuit from Nintendo? Will there be a lawsuit from Nintendo or not? I don't know. That's the question, right? Will there be a lawsuit? Are they going to sue them? Should they, like, I don't know. Should they sue them? I mean, maybe they could try and get away with it. I don't know. Do they care enough to try to sue them? I don't know. Um, but yeah, the plagiarism thing is just like, I mean, yeah, it's just it's I mean, bro, these things are going to get very very similar. But yeah, I mean, they should do the, hey, here's my here's my homework, but don't copy it 1-to-1. I mean, some of this stuff, yeah, could definitely not be as close as what it is. Where's that post? Right here. Like the face of this, yeah, could definitely not be as close as what it is. I mean, is yeah, I mean, they should change it, but are they? I mean, who knows? Who knows? At the end of the day, I mean, there's a gajillion people playing this game. Unless they get a lawsuit here, yeah, whether it's right or wrong, again, that's all public opinion on whether somebody views something as right or wrong. Um, but my question is here's my question. All right, here's my question. And this is can be answered by anyone, right? Of course. I mean, as all my questions can be answered by anyone. What is the what is it that people want out of this? Okay. So a lot of people are going off about the plagiarism, right? So what is it that the people who are going after Palworld for plagiarism, what do they want to happen? Right? That's my question. Because I don't, what do they want to happen? Do they want them removed? Do they just want them changed? I mean, yeah, change would be a good idea, but like, I mean, no matter what they change it to, I mean, it's always gonna go crazy. Like, what ultimately are the people looking for Palworld to do? And will it require Palworld to do anything? Because at the end of the day, 1.5 million players is quite a lot. So, I mean, it's a ginormous game. In fact, it is right now the most played game on Steam, almost doubling Counter-Strike right now, right? In terms of player count. I mean, it's insane. It is insane. So, will they do anything about it? I don't really know. People are playing their game. I don't think that they are really going to do anything about it. I don't think so. Even if the community have already tried rallying up behind a bunch of people saying all this stuff. Like, yeah, I mean, plagiarism isn't good. It's not good. But right now, what can be done about it? What is the outcome? What does the community want? Can the community even do it? Right? Can the community even do it? Because at the end of the day, think of something like Call of Duty. If the community goes behind it enough, Call of Duty just, I mean, a lot of people get on the bandwagon because they play Call of Duty. So they're going to hop on that train. Palworld is a game that is a lot of individuals, right? It is very independent style, where it's more on like the single player line of things. So with that being said, people, I don't think, I could be wrong, but people don't really put enough effort into really caring about that stuff. I mean, it's the reality. It's just the reality of things. You got so many posts about this plagiarism and stuff, but yet they still have 1.5 million players. It's kind of like the Harry Potter thing, right? The Harry Potter thing was going crazy when Hogwarts Legacy was coming out, right? Going crazy. But you know what? There was still a lot of people playing Hogwarts Legacy, but just because of the community outlash, I mean, it just, I don't know what do people want? Do they just, I mean, maybe they just want to bring maybe they just want to bring eyes onto this issue, but at the end of the day, what's the next game that's going to do this, right? What's the next game that would do this and people talk about plagiarism again? And it just repeats. I don't, what is going to come out of it? You know what I mean? I just don't understand. I just don't know what's going to come out of it. Whether it's right or wrong, if there's a loophole, people are going to take it. There's always going to be loopholes in anything, and people are going to take it. And at the end of the day, there's not a whole lot you can do about it. Even though it's not right, what do you do? I just, like, maybe call me a bad guy, but I just don't know. What in the world can you do? I don't know. What up, Chaotic? Welcome back. I found it. Why is the dog barking? Dog, what are you barking for? Hang on. Let me see. Let me see what the dog's barking for here. But like, again, dude, I just don't know what do people want out of it, right? What do people want out of it? Because I don't know. Oh, another delivery. Okay. Another delivery. All right. I found it. Okay. Oh no, 100%. And some people definitely take it too far when it comes to Nintendo IP. But there are plenty of Pokemon clones like Cassette Beast and Lemon Tail that have gained support and love from many communities and has more in common with Pokemon than Pal. Yeah, I mean, bro, here's the thing, man. There are a million different Pokemon clones out there. I mean, there are things that are literally called, oh, like Digimon or I don't know, Tillymon or something. There's literally games that end with the name Mon or the title Mon. I mean, obviously it's inspired by Pokemon and there's a lot taken from it. But the problem is those games just aren't as popular and didn't blow up as much as Palworld did, right? It didn't blow up as much as Palworld did. So those don't get the eyes on it. And these posts made about it. It's because Palworld hit the social media by storm. People are playing it like crazy. It's going absolutely wild. People are playing the game like nuts, right? People are playing the game like nuts, right? It's absolutely ridiculous. So because of that, there's a lot more eyes on it, which are gonna include a lot more posts like this talking about plagiarism, stuff like that, just because it's a lot more visible to the public eye. Yeah, I mean, it just is. Nintendo company started in 1889 selling Fuda playing cards. No, because they're not the same. Look alike, but not the same. Yeah, things must been more easy when Nintendo started selling their cards. Nintendo is older than video games. I don't think the community itself wants anything. Rather, they just want to bring attention to this game that has gained so much money and players so quickly, and a lot of it coming from a F Pokemon mindset. Yeah, true. Can't find the post yet. Yeah, I already read that. 3 streamers are playing Hogwarts Legacy right now. Yep. Nothing there. Not the same. They are different. I found it. Digimon not including, that's a bit different. And Pokemon didn't start the Mon collection genre. It just became the biggest. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, but at the end of the day, because Pokemon became so popular, anything with Mon at the end of it is going to be representing Pokemon. It's going to relate. Again, creating something that's crazy unique right now is really hard. There's always, no matter what you do, there is always a game or something that people can relate it to. Okay, there's always something, right? The Digimon thing is kind of just whatever, but I mean, there's a gajillion other Mon games out there that either are not even related to Pokemon or that they are completely related and 100% copies or whatever. But Palworld just got so big so fast that people started absolutely eating it apart. People started eating it apart and you know, going crazy, right? Yeah, I mean, it just is. So I don't know. That's my thing on Palworld here. Ultimately, yeah, there's a lot of people talking about plagiarized things and kind of you know, going crazy with this. I mean, you know, yeah, bringing a lot of eyes to it, but at the end of the day, what's going to come out of it? Probably nothing. Is there going to be many? Is there going to be a lot more games that have instances of this in the future? Yeah, I mean, it just is. It just is. It's gonna happen. I don't know what else to say. It's gonna happen. So, um, yeah. There's the thing here, right? Like, yeah. I mean, this person's using an AI or never mind. Maybe not an AI. Maybe this is from the game. Yeah, I think this is from the game. You know, but like, dude, you could definitely use an AI for this. I mean, bro, look at this. Giratina's face, man. Giratina's face is what we got here, right? Is the thing. So not everything else. Just look at the face here. Boom, right here. Exact same design face, basically. And then that's like what we got going on here. I mean, yeah, it's definitely similar for sure. I don't know, dude. It's just I don't know. It's just blowing up like crazy. Yeah, no. Yeah. Send the post. Send the post. People don't mind the Pokemon clone in terms of like gameplay. That's what we want. A game comes out like Pokemon, but to beat it. The main thing when it comes to Palworld is that a lot of the pals have taken direct parts, some entire mons, to make their own. That it's an asset flip, and most importantly, that the company who made it done so before with a Breath of the Wild ripoff. Yep. I mean, yeah. So yeah, I mean for sure. Wait, what is this? Um, let's see. How many? Okay, so somebody did do it. I'm not surprised that somebody did do it. So we got 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, Darkrai, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. Vulpix mostly in theme. So it's not actually in the game, but in theme, maybe? I don't know. 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. Holy bro. Is that it? 62. So 62 is basically what this person kind of found here. 62 of them. They had more in that thread, but no clue where the rest went. They had more than 62. Oh, 63. There we go. 63. But it's just the colors. It's just the colors of one of them. I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah, I just like, yeah, I mean, I mean, yeah. Snorlax face with the teeth flipped. I believe so. Again, some of these are a bit weaker than others, like the Vulpix and Giratina comparisons. Those are pretty weak, and some others being near 1-to-1. I mean, oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, for sure. Some of them being like nearly 100% 1-to-1 for sure. There was a couple of them that I seen in here that were pretty. I mean, pretty darn crazy. Like basically 1-to-ones. They were towards the top here though. Uh, where was it? Where was it? Um, I mean, this one is pretty similar, of course. Palworld like main theme, the color scheme here is pretty similar. But I will say, like, isn't this and correct me if I'm wrong? Isn't this like an old like Japanese? Isn't this based on like an old Japanese like thing that was made? Wasn't there like an item? Is it either Japanese or Chinese or something like that? Wasn't this like based off of something like that? Yeah, yeah, Native American total pull. Yeah, there you go, something like that. I knew it was based off of something. So I mean, the color scheme. I mean, yeah, it's pretty similar, but still, regardless, though, I mean that's fair enough. Um, EV here. I mean, yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure, for sure. This one right here, I see a lot. I see a lot of people talk about this one here. I mean, yeah, dude. Like, yeah. But again, it's just even and increments being near the exact thing. Yep, I believe so. I already read that. But yeah, so I don't know, dude. I don't know. It's just yeah. I mean, whether it's good or bad. I mean, obviously, it's not good if a lot of this stuff is complete copied or whatever. Right? Of course, right? That's people's work and stuff like that that went in the modeling Lucario here. But I mean, that's kind of um, of course. But I don't know what's gonna happen here. What's gonna happen here, man? Players are not gonna stop playing the game unless they get sued. Nothing's probably gonna change. I wouldn't imagine. So I don't know. I don't know what the plan is here. But yeah, I mean, sure. Maybe those people stopped a little bit of sales from the game, but that's about it. I don't know.